Good morning, students. In today's session, I just want to work out some problems in which I make use of the derivatives of the inverse trigonometric functions. In the earlier session, I had derived the formula for all the 6 inverse trigonometric functions, and you can see all of them I have displayed on the board. So, looking at that one, we start working out the problems. See, in the previous session I told you that most of the problems will not be simple functions, it will be containing a composite function. So, composite function means automatically you have to apply the chain rule here. So, first you apply the rule of sine inverse. In the place of x, suppose I am having some other function, even that has to be differentiated, like dy by du into du by dx, which you learnt in the earlier sessions. Now, let me take the first problem. Find the derivative or find dy by dx or differentiate with respect to x. That is the instruction. First problem is sine inverse of x square. Understand carefully here. Sine inverse of x square. See, that is why all the formula I have written first, so that you can easily refer to each one here. Look there, sine inverse x. What is the derivative there? 1 divided by root of 1 minus x square. When x is there, it would be squared. In the place of x, what do you have here? X square. So, we follow the same rule here, that is sine inverse of anything, like that you remember. Sine inverse of any function is 1 over square root of 1 minus square of that function. X is there, x square. First we will write differentiate with respect to x. Differentiate with respect to x. Differentiate with respect to x. Therefore, dy by dx would be equal to sine inverse of x square, that is 1 divided by square root of 1 minus x square. 1 minus, what you have in the place of x square? X, it is x square. Otherwise, I told you, you have to make an assumption. Let x square be equal to u and du by dx you have to calculate. This becomes sine inverse u and 1 over root of 1 minus u square into du by dx. What we did in the earlier sessions, that is to find the derivative of the composite function. Whereas all these problems usually are expected for 1 mark question. So, within 1 or 2 steps now you have to write the answer. Otherwise, if you show all the substitution, it may take more time here. Now, 1 over root of 1 minus x square. So, sine inverse part is over. Now, differentiate x square with respect to x, that becomes 2x. Now, let me write it. So, 2x numerator divided by square root of 1 minus x square whole square, sorry. It is 1 minus x becomes x square becomes x square the whole square. So, x square whole square using the law of the indices, that would be equal to x to the power 4. So, this is how we have to write it. First you consider the function, inverse function, then you do the differentiation. Like the chain rule only, one by one we are considering. So, it is 1 over square root of 1 minus x square the whole square. If here you are having e power x, square that one. If you are having 1 by x, square that one. Whatever may be the function given, square that here and differentiate that separately. Then if you can write in a simpler way, you write it in a proper way. So, this is the procedure we adopt when you differentiate the inverse trigonometric function. So, as usual, we see in the case of the other functions, the basic functions I had considered trigonometric, logarithmic, that's what we did when we applied the chain rule here. Taking from the left hand side, one by one, we differentiate the function using the basic rule. Okay, same thing here also we are doing. Let me consider another problem. Y is equal to cos inverse of root x. Look at the function cos inverse. What's the definition? When you differentiate, it is minus 1 over square root of 1 minus x square. X would be squared. In the place of x, what you have here? Root x. But the basic rule is same. It is dy by dx is minus 1 divided by root of 1 minus whatever function is there, square that one. Okay? So, this part is over. Now come to the derivative of this one because it is also a function of x. What is the derivative of root x? Again the basic function 1 by 2 root x. Now write it like this, minus 1 divided by, first I write in an order 2 root x into, what is root x the whole square? It is x, isn't it? So it is root of 1 minus x. So this is a derivative, minus 1 by 2 into root x into root of 1 minus x. So this is how you have to solve the problems. Next, let me take another problem. Let y be equal to tan inverse of e to the power x. I am taking different combination here. That means I am considering the third formula, that is dy by dx. First let me consider tan inverse part. Tan inverse x, what's the derivative? See, in the first one we had functions under the radical sign. Here it is not there. It is 1 divided by 1 plus x square. So when x is there, it would be squared. That is 1 divided by 1 plus, in the place of x, what do you have? E to the power x. That is e to the power x the whole square. So this part is over. Now e power x is again a function of x. What's the derivative? That is again e to the power x. So how do you write this one? Numerator e to the power x over 1 plus e to the power x whole square. I am using the law of the indices. A power m whole power n is a to the power m into n. So I can write it as e to the power 2x. So this is the derivative of tan inverse of root x. So it's a combination of two functions here. So naturally applying two rules here. First one for tan inverse, second one for e to the power x. So it is like dy by dx equal to dy by du into du by dx. Now let me consider another function, secant inverse of 2x. So I am taking the fifth formula here, secant inverse of x. First let me write dy by dx. You observe, in the case of inverse function, all the terms would be present in the denominator. All of them have 1 in the numerator, either 1 or minus 1. So all the terms are present in the denominator only, in the derivative part. Now secant inverse 1 divided by, it's plus only. Look at the term on the for the derivative. When x is there, it is x into square root of x square minus 1. Whatever may be the value of x here. In the place of x, what do you have here? 2x. So write that itself. 2x into square root of x square. X square means you have to write 2x the whole square. Then write minus 1. Wherever x is there, that has to be replaced. Into, now we have used the secant inverse formula. 1 over x into root of x square minus 1. But 2x itself is a function of x which has to be differentiated. What is the derivative? It is 2 into 1. So this can be written as numerator 2 divided by this 2x, I am writing as it is, square root of 2x the whole square is 4x square minus 1. Now we can do the cancellation of 2 also. The answer becomes 1 over x into root of 4x square minus 1. So this is the derivative of this particular function. So each function, that's why I told you, if you remember the basic formula, you will not have any problem at all. That is follow the same rule, that is sin inverse x 1 over root of 1 minus x square, cos inverse x minus 1 over root of 1 minus x square, tan inverse x 1 by 1 plus x square, cot inverse it is minus 1 over 1 plus x square, secant inverse x 1 over x into root of x square minus 1, and cosecant inverse x the same term minus 1 over root of x into minus 1 over x into root of x square minus 1. So in the place of x, whatever function has been given, write in the respective places. But if that function is also a function of x, now that has to be differentiated, because in most of the problems I am considering the composite function. The next one is y is equal to cot inverse of 2x square. Cot inverse of 2x square. So, I am referring to the fourth formula. What's the derivative of cot inverse x? Minus 1 divided by 1 plus whatever function is there, whatever term is there, that has to be squared. Therefore, dy by dx would be equal to, first write minus 1 over 1 plus x square. X square in the place of x I am having 2x square the whole square. So, this part is over. For 2x square, that itself is a function of x. Therefore, differentiate 2 into x square. What's the derivative of x square? It is 2x. So, write it properly. Minus 2 to the 4x divided by 1 plus expand, square them. 2 square is 4, x square the whole square. Again I am using the law of the indices. It becomes minus 4x divided by 1 plus 4x to the power 4. So, this is the derivative of the function. That is why I have derived in the same order, so that two functions will have the same, numerically same, only the sign would be different. Now, next one is, here you have to be careful. Cosecant inverse of root x I am giving. So, the last formula I am referring, y equal to cosecant inverse x. What is the derivative? Minus 1 divided by x into root of x square minus 1. So, in the place of x, what do you have now? Root x is there. Therefore, let me write it carefully. You write. First write minus 1 divided by. In the place of x, what do you have? Root x. So, write root x into root of x square. If x is there, x square. Root x is there, that has to be squared. Root x the whole square minus 1. So, cosecant inverse part is over. Now, you know that root x itself is a function of x. What's the derivative of that one? It is 1 by 2 root x. For all, these are all basic functions only. But only when this is other than x, no, then it becomes a composite function. So, automatically we are using the chain rule. Now, carefully you write the answer. Numerator is minus 1. Now, 2 you write the number, root x and another root x, it becomes simply x into, under the radical sign, root x the whole square. What happens here? It becomes again 1. So, the answer is minus 1 by 2 into x into square root of x minus 1. So, this is the derivative of the given function. Now, I am giving one problem. Of course, it is also a composite function only, whereas we can use the property here. See, in inverse trigonometric functions, you have learnt about 5 sets of properties, starting with a very simple one and some formulae. We can use that. All the properties are standard properties. You can use wherever you want, wherever they are applicable. Now, in one of the properties, tan inverse x minus tan inverse y is equal to tan inverse of x minus y over 1 plus xy. I hope you remember this one. This is what we had derived. See, whatever results we have derived, all of them, they are applicable both ways. If it is in the form of the LHS, you can write it in the form of the right hand side. Or it is like this, you can go back to the left hand side, because we have proved that they are equal to each other. Now, let me compare this and this. In the place of x, I am having 1. In the place of y, I am having x, isn't it? And denominator 1 plus, look here, see, x and y have been replaced by 1 and x. The denominator x, I can write it as 1 into x also, isn't it? In that case, no, here x would be 1 and y would be x. So, this resembles this particular result. Now instead of giving this minus in the numerator, suppose I had given plus in the numerator, then I would have given here minus. Then we would have used the earlier property. Tan inverse x plus tan inverse y is equal to tan inverse of x plus y over 1 minus x into y. So, of course, as it is you can differentiate, no problem at all. We are using this formula, isn't it? According to this formula, tan inverse x means dy by dx would be 1 divided by 1 plus x square. In the place of x, we are having the whole thing. So, 1 over 1 plus square of this one into, now you look at it, it is in the form of a quotient. It is a composite function. First you apply the tan inverse formula, it is 1 over 1 plus x square. Whole of this should be squared. Then you have to apply the quotient rule because it is in the form of a quotient. So, if you could simplify using that is why those properties are helpful. If you could use this function, if you use the property and simplify the function, the derivation part, that is differentiation part, becomes easier. Now let me write like this: tan inverse of 1 minus x divided by 1 plus 1 into x. Now I can write this as tan inverse of 1 minus tan inverse of x. Okay. Here in the working column you can quote the result, since we know that tan inverse x minus tan inverse y is tan inverse of x minus y over x1 plus x into y. So, in the place of x it is 1, in the place of y it is x. So, it is tan inverse of x means tan inverse of 1 minus tan inverse of y means it is tan inverse x. You observe it is still y only, I am not differentiated. Look here, this is a basic function. For formula I have written already, and tan inverse 1, what is that actually? Pi by 4. Tan inverse of any number, any trigonometric, inverse trigonometric function gives us an angle. That means it is a constant. Therefore, when you differentiate dy by dx, for this one it is 0 minus tan inverse x. The standard formula is already there, 1 over 1 plus x square. So, the answer is minus 1 over 1 plus x square. If you cannot remember this formula, directly you can certainly differentiate, but the differentiation part becomes a little bit cumbersome. Okay, this is lengthy also. Tan inverse of something means first you write 1 over 1 plus square of this one into apply the quotient rule. Finally, you get the same answer, no problem. It is quite a simple answer. So, if you use the property, certainly within 2 steps you can get the result, and the same result we will be getting going in a roundabout way also. So, wherever it is applicable, wherever you can make use of any property, then we will be getting the result. Suppose in this problem I had given plus in the numerator, answer would be plus 1 over 1 plus x square. So, this is the procedure we adopt. Now, let me move on to the next problem. Tan inverse of 2x over 1 minus x square. Now, I think in the last set of properties, I myself had proved these results. 3 results I had given. See, these are the 3 results. 2 tan inverse x equal to tan inverse of 2x over 1 minus x square. Now, 2 tan inverse x can be written as sin inverse of 2x over 1 plus x square, and 2 tan inverse x can also be written as cos inverse of 1 minus x square over 1 plus x square. These 3 results we have proved there. It could be expected for a 2-mark question, but all of them are standard results. See, tan inverse of 2x 1 minus x square are this or this. All of them, they are equal to this one. So, tan inverse of 2x over 1 minus x square, instead, otherwise no, you can as usual differentiate applying the tan inverse function. What is the formula? It is 1 over 1 plus square of this one. Okay, whole thing should be squared. Then again you have to apply the quotient rule, differentiate. Ultimately, you will be getting the same answer, but if you apply, if you do use the property, the problem becomes simpler. If you don't use it, the differentiation becomes complicated. So here I can write it as 2 times tan inverse of x. Now you observe it was a composite function, now it has become a simple function because of the property that we have already proved. Now differentiate, don't write dy by dx here, still it is a given function only. 2 into, what's the derivative? Because it is a basic function, 1 over 1 plus x square, or you can write 2 divided by 1 plus x square. So this is how we get the result here. So if you remember all these properties, you can certainly write the result. Suppose I had given here y equal to sin inverse of 2x over 1 plus x square. Then also you can write it as 2 tan inverse x. The answer would be same, 2 divided by 1 plus x square. Suppose I had given y is equal to cos inverse of 1 minus x square over 1 plus x square. Then also it would be equal to 2 tan inverse x. Hence the result would be 2 divided by 1 plus x square, because all of them they are equal to the same term. So the 2 tan inverse x can be written in 3 different ways. So whether this is given this or this, the answer would be same, the derivative would be same, because all of them are equal. These two are equal, these two are equal, and these two are equal. Now same thing what I told just now. Suppose I had given this one. Of course, sometimes now they give the domain here. What are the values that is suitable for x. Now similarly, if sin inverse 2x by 1 plus x square given, you can write it as 2 tan inverse x. Same thing for this also. So that is how we get the same answer, but sometimes now in the problem they specify x lying between 0 and 1, or some values would be given. Otherwise also you can directly solve the problem. Now another problem here. Of course, this also we had worked out as a problem. We had proved the result. It is sin inverse of 2x over 2x into root of 1 minus x square. Now this we had done it as a problem. Sometimes they give this, that is the value of x, minus 1 by root of 2 less than x less than plus 1 by root of 2. Now this problem we had done it as a we had already solved this problem under inverse trigonometric function. Here our problem is to find the derivative. In inverse trigonometric functions, we had considered one type of problem where expressed in the simplest form. I hope remember that one, expressed in the simplest form. So by making a proper substitution for the variable x here, we try to express in a simpler way. Now directly also you can differentiate. If you cannot simplify, using the formula sin inverse x. What is sin inverse x? The derivative is 1 over root of 1 minus x square. So 1, if you differentiate as it is, 1 divided by square root of 1 minus square of the whole thing here, 2x into root of 1 minus x square. And again this is a function of x, we have to apply the product rule here, and for this term we have to apply the chain rule. So many rules you have to follow. First sin inverse function, product rule and chain rule. If you could do the simplification, simplify the function by making use of a proper substitution, then this differentiation becomes easier. Now let me write, let x be equal to sin theta. Don't take sin x there. Both of them should be different variables. Let x be equal to sin theta. Then theta would be sin inverse x. I am using the definition again. Now theta would be sin, because this theta we have made the assumption just to simplify this one. But the answer should be in terms of x, that is a variable that has been given to us. Therefore, first let me simplify. Don't write dy by dx here. It is sin inverse of 2 into x is sin theta into root of 1 minus sin square theta. Now I am going to the basic identity. 1 minus sin square theta What is that one? It is cos square theta. 1 minus sin square theta is cos square theta, that is root of cos square theta. What is root of cos square theta? It is cos theta. 2 sin theta into cos theta. Now I am using the multiple angle formula. 2 sin theta cos theta. How do you write? Sin of 2 theta. So this is sin inverse of sin of 2 theta. Again a property I have learned, sin inverse of sin x would be equal to x under some condition. So condition has been given already. Sin inverse of sin 2 theta is equal to 2 theta. So that I am writing here. That means that y is equal to 2 theta. Okay, y is equal to 2 theta. Now that's why I have written theta in terms of x. Therefore, what is theta here? Theta is nothing but sin inverse x. See, you observe a composite function was given to us, isn't it? A composite function was given to us. When we made a proper substitution, that sin inverse of 2x into root of 1 minus x square now has become 2 sin inverse x. And sin inverse x is nothing but the basic inverse trigonometric function whose derivative we already know. Therefore, now you write dy by dx. Till then it is a function only we are considering. So it is 2 into 1 over root of 1 minus x square. Therefore, it becomes 2 divided by root of 1 minus x square. If you have followed without applying the substitution, if you have differentiated also, you would have got the same answer, but the procedure would be little bit difficult or it is complicated. So in such a problem, that is why to express in simplest form of the inverse trigonometry function was done in that particular chapter, so that would be helpful in working out the problem on calculus. That is why it was taught in the earlier chapter. Now y is equal to cos inverse of 2x over 1 plus x square. 2x over 1 plus x square. Now here again, if you don't use the substitution, you can use the second formula. It is minus 1 over root of 1 minus square of this one. And then you have to differentiate this applying the quotient rule. If you could do some simplification here by considering in a proper substitution, it is easier for you to solve the problem. Now again I had specified this one. Wherever you get 1 plus x square, the substitution would be better if you take x to be equal to tan theta or cot theta, preferably tan theta. And 1 minus x square, wherever you are having, take x to be sin theta preferably or cos theta. Sin theta would be better. If you had x square minus 1, take x equal to secant theta or cosecant theta, preferably secant theta. So that is a hint so that you can solve the problem in an easier way. Since I am having 1 plus x square here, I am making the assumption that x be equal to tan theta. As soon as you make the substitution, write the value of theta in terms of x. That always you have to do. Okay. As soon as say x equal to something you take, immediately write theta is equal to tan inverse x. Sin, as we did in the previous problem, sin inverse x. Now come to the function and let us see how you can do the simplification. Cos inverse of 2 tan theta divided by 1 plus tan square theta. Again I am referring to a lesson which you have learnt in first year PUC, that is about the multiple angle formula. 2 tan theta over 1 plus tan square theta is nothing but sin of 2 theta. Sin of 2 theta and cos of 2 theta, both of them can be expressed in terms of tan theta. So 2 tan theta over 1 plus tan square theta is actually equal to sin of 2 theta. Suppose we had here cos inverse of cos, you can directly write it. Whereas we are having cos inverse, That's the inverse function. The direct function is sine of something. So again, see here we made use of the multiple angle formula. Now I am using the allied angle rule. That is, you know that sin theta is equal to cos 90 minus theta and cos theta is equal to sin 90 minus theta. So I am using that allied angle rule, and sin can be expressed as cos of pi by 2 minus 2 theta. Okay, because sin theta equal to cos 90 minus theta. So sin, instead of sin, cos of pi by 2 minus 2 theta. The reason is outside we are having cos inverse. So cos inverse of cos, it get cancelled. So y would be equal to pi by 2 minus 2 theta. That is pi by 2 you write as it is minus 2 into, now we go back to the assumption. Theta is our assumption to simplify the function. Now what is theta? You write here tan inverse of x. Now this is the simplified form. Look, we had quite a complicated function here. How it has become simple? Y is equal to pi by 2 minus 2 tan inverse x. It was a composite function. This is a simple function. Now let me go for the differentiation. Now the function y is equal to pi by 2 minus 2 tan inverse x. Differentiate with respect to x. Pi by 2, it is a constant, an angle, isn't it? Therefore it is 0 minus 2 into tan inverse x. It is a basic function whose derivative is 1 over 1 plus x square. Therefore, if you write in the proper order, proper way, the answer becomes minus 2 divided by 1 plus x square. Hence, this is the derivative. See, that is the purpose of simplifying the function. When you do the simplification, you will be getting the answers rather easily. That means the differentiation part. See, when the function is complicated, the differentiation part becomes a little bit easier within 1 or 2 steps, because whenever you do the simplification, we usually get the basic function like this, any one of them, depending upon the substitution that you are making. Now, one more problem I want to consider. Y is equal to secant inverse of 1 divided by 2x square minus 1. See, this substitution you cannot by heart. You have to decide looking at the terms that have been given in the problem. One hint I gave in the previous problem, 1 plus x square take tan theta, x square minus 1 take secant theta, 1 minus x square sin theta. These are preferable. Now 2x square minus 1, here that is different. Outside you take secant outside we are having secant inverse, isn't it? So if you get here inside the bracket secant of something, then secant inverse of secant, you can neglect both the functions and write only the function part, the variable part here. Now we are having 2x square minus 1 in the denominator, and you know that secant theta is 1 by cos theta. Here 2x square minus 1. If you take x equal to cos theta, think 2 cos square theta minus 1. What is that equal to? Cos of 2 theta, isn't it? Suppose you had here 1 minus 2x square, then you should have taken x to be sin theta. That's why I told you, you cannot have a common substitution for all the problems. Looking at the terms, you have to think a little bit and write. Now let x be equal to cos theta, which implies that theta is equal to cos inverse of x. Cos inverse of x. Now let me come to the function. Y would be equal to secant inverse of 1 divided by 2 cos square theta minus 1. Many students take x equal to x. Don't do that one. You have to take two different. Need not be theta, alpha, beta, anything you can take. Now we are familiar with theta, we take that one. Now 2 cos square theta minus 1, as you know, it is cos of 2 theta. Isn't it? Cos of 2 theta. That's why I told you. Suppose I had given 1 minus 2x square. In that case, now you should have taken x to be sin theta. 1 minus 2 sin square theta is also equal to cos of 2 theta. And cos and secant, they are reciprocal ratios. Therefore, it is secant inverse of, if you take to the numerator, secant of 2 theta. Correct? Secant inverse of secant means now it is very simple. It is 2 theta. But what is theta? Theta is nothing but cos inverse of x. Look here. It was not a simple function, composite. Look here, cos inverse x, it is the basic function, basic inverse trigonometric function. Now that is the function we are having. We don't have secant inverse of 1 by 2x square minus 1. The function now is 2 times cos inverse of x. Now the derivative can be written directly because it is a basic function. Differentiate with respect to x. 2 into, it is negative, we are having minus 1 over root of 1 minus x square, or if you write it like this, minus 2 divided by root of 1 minus x square. If you had not done that substitution, you certainly can differentiate using the formula, secant inverse x formula you have to write. What is that one? 1 over x into root of x square minus 1. Then that function what I had given should be differentiated using the quotient rule. Ultimately we get the same answer, but the procedure will be really complicated. So whenever you come across the inverse trigonometric function whose derivative you have to calculate, see that the function by making a proper substitution could be simplified. The problems would be usually of that form. Certainly you can do the simplification, then the function can be easily differentiated. One more problem and I am ending this session. Y is equal to sin inverse of x divided by root of 1 plus x square. X divided by root of 1 plus x square. Now I had given a hint in one of the earlier problems. Wherever you are having 1 plus x square, the correct substitution, the apt would be tan theta. So same thing I am writing here. Let x be equal to tan theta. That implies that theta is equal to tan inverse of x. Tan inverse of. So show that in the working column. Now let me simplify that function. Sin inverse of x is equal to tan theta divided by root of 1 plus tan square theta. See, in each problem to simplify, so much of information we will be using. First, I made use of the definition of the inverse trigonometric function for the substitution part. Now, I am using the identity. What is 1 plus tan square theta? The second identity says that it is equal to secant square theta. So, sin inverse of tan theta divided by root of secant square theta, isn't it? Now, what is root of secant square theta? It is secant theta, tan theta divided by secant theta. Even now, it has not come to a simplest form. Sin inverse. See, our problem is when you have sin inverse, if you could write the quantity inside the bracket sin of something, you can use the property sin inverse of sin x equal to x. So try to get sin of something. As it is not there. Now use the basic definition. Tan theta, as you know, can be written as sin theta by cos theta. And secant theta is 1 by cos theta. So let me write that one. Sin inverse of tan theta, you write it as sin theta by cos theta. Write a lengthy line here. Okay. Just to differentiate numerator denominator. Secant theta, how do you write? It can be written as 1 by cos theta. You observe cos theta can be cancelled. So what is remaining now? We are having y is equal to sin inverse of. See, these two have been cancelled. We are having only sin theta. Now again I am using the property of inverse trigonometric function. So y is equal to theta. See how simple it has become. And what was theta? Because of the substitution, it was equal to tan inverse x. See, the earlier function was sin inverse of x over root of 1 plus x square. If you have adopted the first formula, you should have written like that, 1 over root of 1 minus square of the whole quantity. Then you have to apply the quotient rule again and differentiate it. Now tan inverse x, what's the derivative? Again it is a basic function we are having. It is 1 divided by 1 plus x square. See, whatever method you adopt, you will be getting the same answer. There is no argument about that one. But how we approach the problem, that has to be decided. Here what I am doing is, I am simplifying the function itself so that the differentiation becomes easier within 1 or 2 steps. Maximum, it's one step only you get, or maximum 2 steps we can do the differentiation. If you had not done the simplification, the differentiation takes too many steps here, and there are chances of committing mistake while doing the differentiation of a composite function. So whenever an inverse trigonometric function, you just see whether the function could be simplified by making a proper substitution so that the differentiation would be easier for you. Okay. So this completes this topic, that is the derivative of the inverse trigonometric functions. Now in the next session, I will be taking up another type of differentiation, that's why you may remember before I started calculus portion, in one session I taught you about the logarithm. The reason I told you then, a particular differentiation is known as a logarithmic differentiation. Therefore, for that you should have a good knowledge of logarithm, especially the laws of the logarithm or the theorems of logarithm. For that purpose it was taught. Now in the next session, I am going to teach you about a new method called as logarithmic differentiation method, that is to find the derivative using the logarithmic rules. So it is called as logarithmic differentiation. So whatever information I had given you under the logarithm, go through that properly and come prepared so that I can directly start the differentiation of the function which is known as the logarithmic differentiation. Thank you.